It is day 8 of the Secret Spirits Whiskey Advent Calendar here on the Single Malt Review for 8 December 2019. It's Tim's turn to taste blind. So the secrecy comes down. I'll unlock the 8th dram.
The secrecy is secure. Now Dave's going to wrestle with the box. We've got the pliers out now, so we're getting a bit of a system. So I'm hesitant to say we've seen it all by this point, but we've seen some stuff. We've seen blended malts. I think we haven't seen a single grain or a blend yet. We've only seen blended malts. So
there possibly may not be any in this calendar. We have to see.
Just have to see. I'm sure they've tucked a single grain in there somewhere. I wouldn't be able to resist for a bit of a different flavour there. But we've seen whiskey from blends we've never encountered before. We've seen weird teaspooned Balvenis.
We've seen distilleries we never
encountered we have. We've seen King's Barn. The very first time I've been able to taste that new lowland producer. So all manner of things. What's up next? One can only guess. And
Goodness.
So I shall. Right, pour me a good one, Dave. I've got a good feeling.
Yeah.
Although last time I had a good feeling, I completely balked it. So we'll see how we go.
Damn it, I want to say something about this based on the label, but I would give things away. So.
No coaching, no coaching.
No, none whatsoever. Okay, here comes a glass. Okay, I will ensconce this under the tankard.
Oh, I can smell this already. What's going on here? Alrighty then.
The clock has started. You have 2 minutes to discern what you may.
Now, this is a fairly rich nose here. It's quite woody, which makes me think maybe it's older than younger, but that would be... We'll see. From the nose, I think this is probably malt whiskey, but let's see. Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's got some...
Yep, this is two things. This is malt whiskey, and it is single cask malt whiskey of a pretty hearty strength. I think this is around, let's say 54 to 58, I think, percent. By my burning taste buds are reckoning. Can you give me a little bit of water?
Sure can.
We'll do this sooner rather than later, I think, or I will be putting myself at a disadvantage.
Here you go. I'll do the same to mine.
It's certainly full flavoured. If this isn't a malt whiskey, I'm Mickey Mouse. There is no... Never have I been surer. And this to me is trending... Ooh, hello.
40 seconds.
This to me is trending Highland. Oh, there's a flag here in the back. I'm getting it on the recirculation. I almost want to pick a distillery, but then it's one I always get wrong from where it's actually situated. No, I'm going to get straight to the chopper on this one. I think I'm ready. I'm taking it off. Stop the timer.
Cool.
The rest of the seconds...
You have about 7 seconds
All
to
right.
spare.
Here it goes.
Yeah.
All or nothing. I think this is Glenrothes, which would be a Speyside because it's bloody Rothes, isn't it?
Okay.
Right, how did I do?
Well, what was your rough... Do you have a rough guess on the age?
Oh,
you guessed the percentage,
is,
which is probably a good starting point.
I think, well, and also I think this is a second fill sherry. That's what I'm getting. And there's a woody note right at the end, which is telling me there's just a whisper of Rothes in the back of this one, which pricks up my spidey senses for whiskey. And age-wise, I think this is mid-teens, I would say.
Well, you guessed 54 to 58%. You are dead on the money there. That is perfect. And on the other fronts, you were slightly off, but very close. So have a look.
All right, do me the damage.
Yeah.
What have we got? Ben Rennis!
You guessed second fill sherry. It is, in fact, first fill Oloroso, which is why it's such a profoundly hard-hitting aroma. And was it 10 years?
It is 10 years old. Ben Rennis.
And 56.1?
Yes, 56-1.
So you're, you guessed
right
50,
on the
54,
right
58.
on the strength. No points awarded for that though. But I'll take the 2 for Speyside and malt whiskey.
You guessed second fill. It is in fact first fill, but it's slightly younger than you expected. So that kind of adds up. Like, do you expect that flavour from an older refill cask or a younger first fill?
First fill Oloroso.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty pale. First fill sherry. That's your real dark red whiskey.
Yeah,
Typically,
but
anyway.
only 10 years. So comparatively speaking, relatively young, and a Ben Rinnes. So always good to see him.
It's been a really long time since we've really picked up with Ben Rinnes.
Yeah.
I see now what led me down the erroneous path of thinking this with Rothers. It's actually not too far away geographically, not that their styles are remotely similar, but to see a single cask sherried Ben Rinnes, it's interesting to see quite how similar it is. That sort of slightly tannic but still savoury, there's almost a little bit of black tea involved, and you only get it. You get this flag right on the end, and it's a slightly drier sherry, and it's typically not what I use to determine Glenrothes against something like a Ben Rinnes. It's my mechanism for teasing apart Glenrothes and Glendronach, because that can be quite the conundrum. Glendronach probably, as we well know, as a lot of people do, the sherry maturing distillery. Not that there aren't other almost solely or completely sherry matured drams out there, but in terms of completely leaning into the style, Glendronach really would have to take the cake on that one, which is probably an apt choice of analogy, because it is Christmas cake that they often produce in their whiskey. But Glenrothes has a very, very similar sherried style when they're making sherried whiskey, but it's that slightly wooden, slightly drier, tannic note right on the end, which is how I tell them apart, and that is what's fooled me in this case. So, yeah, Ben Rinnes, not a whiskey we've tasted very widely, and not one that I know a great deal about, beyond that it's one of the, it's one of the core Speysides, stuck right in there.
Back when it's still relatively new to actually tasting whiskey as a serious amateur connoisseur, I had a truly outstanding 13-year-old Ben Rinnes by Old Malt Cask, I believe it was, which was just pure Christmas cake in a bottle. That was really latched me onto them as a distiller.
Yeah, not a great deal of other information here. This one by Secret Spirits themselves.
Yeah.
Interesting, very interesting. It's, aside from the sherry maturation, it's not particularly atypical. We are getting the breadth of Speyside flavours here, but accented with that cherry wood, which makes them that
and
much harder
first
to
fill
pick.
Oloroso, it's especially full of cinnamon, cloves. It's very savoury spice driven,
and
as well as having the cakey fruits underneath.
Yeah, as my erroneous blind guess goes to show, tasting mature beyond its years as well. With the 14, I could have been certain that was the lowest I would have gone.
If it was a refill cask as you thought, then absolutely that'd be bang on.
The lowest I would have been willing to go with that one was 12, and it's 2 years younger even than that. So shows just how much you can get out of a first fill Oloroso in only 10 years. So yeah, that is, if nothing else, a complete whiskey there. That's really quite good. Getting better with exposure out of the bottle as well. All of these ones have been they've probably been quite actively sort of handled, bottling all of these little wee ones, so they should be more ready to drink straight after opening than one that has been capped and sealed for ages and very, very fresh out of the cask as well. So the fact that we don't have time to let these sit and breathe, which would be impossible to maintain the mysteries, is hopefully not doing as much harm to them as it otherwise would. Because this is fully open. It's fully it's giving everything away. Yeah, this so far, this and that very, very curious blended malt we had have been two of my favourites thus far. This one's really, really speaking to me as a lover of all-rounder whiskies. Anyway, that was number 8. Bring on number 9. We will be right back. Catch us then. 24 hours. Go nowhere. Well, go somewhere because it's a bit of a long wait otherwise, but by all means sit there and click the F5 button. It'll happen eventually. We'll be right back.